All right. Welcome, everybody, and thank you for joining us tonight on the I Am Fearless interview series. And I am so honored to have. Now, is it my French accent is telling me Ava? But how do I pronounce your name? Is it Ava Brown?
It's Ava Brown. Yes, it's Ava.
It's Ava. Okay, Ava.
Yes. I love
I'm
French.
interviewing Ava Brown. Yeah?
Yeah, you're gonna have to teach me some French. You're gonna have to teach me some French. Je m'appelle Ava. That's
No
all I know.
problem. There you go. That's the start.
That's the start.
Eva, you have such an amazing resume, but for the purpose of this interview, I really want the people who are watching us and who are going to watch the replay to have the full scope, if we can, of who is Ava Brown and where you're coming from and how did you get to where you are today, because that is an amazing journey that is going to inspire a lot of women tonight, I'm sure. So please tell us where you are coming from and how did you start, and bit by bit we'll walk along your journey to where you are now.
Well, thank you so much, Genevieve, for inviting me here tonight. It's been an absolute pleasure. We've been meaning to work together, and the spirit has led us this way, so that's great.
Yes.
Where do I start? I have about 200 hours of my life I could sit down and talk about. So I'm going to condense my 200 hours live in an hour or half an hour, whatever we have.
Yes.
I grew up in Jamaica. I want to make that very, very known. I'm Jamaican. I'm African who was born in Jamaica. That's very important because my heritage is very important to me. I know who I am. And I'm the first of 9 children for my mother, 8 still alive. And we grew up very, very poor. When I say poor, I mean, I don't know how many people can relate to poor or poverty, because poverty as it is in the UK is nothing in comparison to what I grew up in. I grew up not having food, going to bed hungry. I grew up literally as skinny as ever. If you saw me growing up, I used to be able to, you could put water in my collarbones because we were not malnourished, but we didn't have enough to eat. And my mom, bless her soul, a teenager, gave birth to me at 16 years old. And I have a 17-year-old daughter now, and I cannot fathom, I can't even start to conceptualizing my daughter being a mom, but my mom had me, gave birth to me at 16. And my father, who was at the time a much more affluent person in the community, did not own the pregnancy. And so he literally absconded somewhat and left my mother on her own to look after me. And that's the familial situation in which I was born. And before you knew it, my mother was turned out of the house by her own mother. So she became a teenage mother who was then homeless. And she found somebody, my stepfather, who they're together today, 40 years later. And he took her in. And that's how I was born. That's how I was born. That's how I was brought up. That's how I existed. That's how I came into this world. We didn't have much. My stepfather was a rice factory, a laborer on the rice factory. And when I was about 10 years old, he lost his job. We lived in a 1-room shack. And I don't know if you know what a shack is, but we lived in a shack, okay? A little square that everybody lived in. And for people, okay, that's probably hard to even envisage. But, I'm sure I hope there's somebody who listens to this or listens to the replay who can really understand what it is like for a parent to share a room with their children and using a sheet to literally separate the rooms the 1 room into 2 bedrooms. And we were piled up on the bed. It was just It's the way it was. And before you know it, we had no food. Nobody was working. My mom isn't educated because she left school at 16, and she had children. You know, it's what happens in those days. You have one child, and before you know it, you have another. And I then had to start finding a way of how to be able to help my parents, as it were. And then I went to look mangoes, and my mother would dress the mangoes, the fruits, and put them on my head in the basket, like, you know, that wrapper put on your head, send me to the
Yes,
market.
yes, yes.
And I went to the market and I sold mangoes rather than going to school as much as I should. And, you know, it's part of my journey. Part of my journey. That's part of where I'm coming
Amazing.
from. Yeah.
Amazing. Okay. So when did when did you feel your calling to start your life transformation journey?
You know, I had an interview recently, and I don't know if I've ever felt a calling, or probably this was my calling. I just knew that I didn't want the life I saw around me for myself. And this is what I saw. I saw girls having sex, getting pregnant. That was the norm. That was what was normal, you know? It's like you're in the UK and the norm is to see a chicken shop on the corner. Well, girls having babies, teenagers was the norm for me. And I didn't want that. So I knew that, and probably looking back, that was probably my calling. I just knew I wanted something different for myself. And based on that, I went to school, and school was the place that I found solace. School was the place that was different from my house, and school was the place that I found role models, as it were, because there was none in my community. So my teachers saw something in me that I couldn't see in myself, and along that path, they started nurturing what they saw. First and foremost, I was a chatterbox in school. Oh my God, I was such a chatterbox. Like, they couldn't shut me up. And I can remember my teacher saying, Ava, can you stop talking? Mate, I was just talking. I was always talking. I was just always chatting. So that happened, and I left school. I didn't speak English, believe it or not. I spoke our local language, which is something from Africa mixed with, you know, the whole slave trade. So I spoke, it was a mixture of Portuguese and French and pidgin. Yeah. That's what you guys call it, pidgin, whatever, broken English. And I failed English in high school. And I failed English because we didn't speak English in my community, because we were less educated. And then I thought, for me to grow, I need to speak English. So I started learning or practicing to speak English. And I left school without master English. And I wanted to become a barrister.
Right.
And as a teenager, my mom gave me away to my stepmother. My father then kind of came and did some kind of onus. So I was given to my stepmother. And to put it very mildly, my father sexually abused me as a child. And I ran away from him to my mother again. And my mother didn't believe me. She was like, she just felt that I missed my other siblings and wanted to be back with them. When in truth and in fact, I really, really wanted to tell her that these people are taking advantage of me. I became the helper in the house. And my mom didn't believe me. So I had to go back. And I was there. My father and my stepmother broke up, and he left me there. He left me. Just imagine your father left you with a woman that he was leaving. So I was abandoned twice in that whole period. And when he left me, I really went to school. My stepmother then started selling me, putting me out to men, literally almost prostituting me to some extent. And I thought, I don't want this. This is not the life I want for myself. This is not the life I want for myself. So I ran away from her. And this time when I ran away, I wasn't looking back. I didn't care where I ended up. I was going to leave. So I left her house and went to live with an aunt. And my aunt didn't have enough space. And so she packed me up one Saturday morning and literally, Genevieve took me to a garage and handed me over to a man who's meant to be my uncle that I've never met in my whole life. Just like a package, like DHL turns up at your door with a package. And she said, I'm going to take you to an uncle and he's going to look after you. And she just handed me over. She never came to see where I went. She never came to see what was going to happen to me. And I remember sitting in the car so nervous. Thankfully, this uncle turned out to be the father I never had. And I think at that pivotal point, my life started changing because I had stability, I had my own room for the first time. I was able to go to school adequately and efficiently and sufficiently. And then I finished high school. He left. I then went to college. And that's kind of like how my life started, pretty much. That uncle helped to give me platform on which to grow.
Wow.
Yeah.
And that was still in Jamaica?
Yeah, that was still in Jamaica. Still in Jamaica.
Wow. Wow.
Yeah.
So what I cannot I'm trying to understand. But whoever is watching us and who is going to watch the replay can realize that unless you've been through it, you cannot really understand. You can try, but understanding will be very difficult. So what goes on in the mind of a young woman that age who has already been through so much in her life?
I'm trying to go back there. At that time, I had a lot of emotions. I wanted to kill myself. I wanted to die. I felt rejected. I felt ugly. I felt so ugly. I felt tarnished, soiled. At points, I felt like there was something about me that was different because I was the only one that wasn't for my stepfather, so it must be my fault. You know, it must be the fact that I was a reject and my father didn't want me that made me go through this. But I also felt that my mother abandoned me, if you know what I mean, when she gave me to that stepmother. I also didn't trust people. I didn't trust people at all because I felt as though the people then who were put to protect me for the most part had not been protective. They violated me. But on the contrary, I also felt a sense of wanting to escape that situation. And so I gradually started seeing flickers of light rays by things like when I went to the Ministry of Education and said to him, look, I want to go to college. Can you?
We lost Ava. Can you hear me? We lost Ava. Yeah, I think she's having some connection problem. And I hope she's gonna get back in soon because I cannot stop listening to her. Wow. I mean, I knew only the accomplishments about Ava and listening to her full story, and that's not even her full story. More is to come. Is blowing my mind to see how far she's come and where she's today, and the work she's doing in empowering and leading people to go after their dreams and to tap into their greatness. Like right now, I see her as the embodiment of greatness. She's not an isolated case, like I know, but I feel humbled to be so close to someone like that. And I feel very inspired. We have some common. Open a seat. Okay. There she is. There. She's back. There she's back.
Yeah, there we are. I'm so sorry. You
Glad to
can
have
never
you
know
back.
technology, right?
It happens.
I was hearing you. I was hearing you talking about how, the fact that we know each other, and I was hearing you, but I could not see myself. So, yeah,
Right.
great.
Oh, so how do you use the pain? How did you use the pain to push you forward?
Ooh, girl. I
Mm.
was on Monday. Today's on Sunday. I was here. You know my son. My son's 4. You see him. I mean, people see me. Like, oh my God! It's like they know you. They know my son because I'm somebody. Parenting is a very big thing for me. It's such a big thing.
Yes.
My biggest achievement is being a mother. I think, especially because I was mothered, I take it
Mm-hmm.
seriously. And my two
Mm-hmm.
children almost go everywhere I go. They are part and parcel of who I am. I'm a single mother,
Yes.
and my children
I see
mean
them.
take away my degrees, take away my take away
Mm.
everything from me, but leave me with my two children. That is, I get emotional talking about it. My kids mean everything to me.
I
And
hear you. I hear you.
and I was here on Sunday, and my son said pain is temporary, and that blew my mind because he's listening to what I'm saying, and um
Mm-hmm.
I use my pain to push through the most challenging situations. My pain
Yes.
pushes me, my pain and my desire to live a life for my children that is better and different from the one I had, but to also
Mm-hmm.
be the best version of a parent for them in the best way I know is
Yes.
what pushes me. But
Yes.
also, second, I think that's my primary focus. But also, I'm pushed and encouraged to encourage everybody that I come into contact with to understand that regardless of what you've been through, regardless of how badly you've been hurt, battered, bruised, deprived, stripped naked, there is possibility, there is hope that you can self heal, you can bounce back. That for to become a diamond, you might get diamond cuts, but there is the possibility at the end. And I am
Mm-hmm.
living proof
Mm-hmm.
of I'm proof of what could have been disastrous. I'm proof of
Yes, you
what
are.
could have been a different story. So
Mm-hmm.
I tell people I'm a walking miracle because I was raped at gunpoint and left for dead. I was raped in front of my 3-year-old daughter, and I watched gunmen stroke her face wanting to rape her. And
Mm.
today we're standing as proof that you can get through anything.
Mm-hmm.
And I think my story is not unique. There are many people like me. I know that.
Mm.
The difference is that I chose a path.
Yes.
I chose a path to transform others' lives, to give hope to others, but to also break down the taboo and take off the mask and let us have a conversation about the topics that impact, affect, destroy so many lives that in my community, as a Black person especially, we don't want to talk about.
Yes.
And so I make it my duty to
Mm-hmm.
ensure that we talk about things like incest, that we talk about things like
Yes.
sexual perversion in our community, that we talk about domestic violence in our community, that we talk about the
Mm-hmm.
legacy that absent fathers leave to
Yeah.
children,
Mm-hmm.
those things, because the first man who was meant to show me how a man is meant to treat me abused me. and
Mm-hmm.
and the domino effect that those things can have on a girl are you can't there are so many that I can't even begin to start listing them. And that has contributed to my two broken marriages because I felt broken myself. So I felt broken. I went looking for love in the wrong men. I tried to find a father in some of in these men, and I
Mm-hmm.
attracted abusive men. And until I was able to break that cycle and acknowledge that I deserve better, that I'm worthy, that I'm going to be unapologetic and non-negotiable about the king that deserves me, the queen.
Amen.
Because my
Yes.
past I can't do anything about. I had to make
Mm-hmm.
peace with my past. I had to forgive
Mm-hmm.
my father, although I didn't agree with what he did. And I had to break the chains and the shackles from around myself.
Mm-hmm.
And that's how I was healed. Mentally, oh my God, it was hard. There were days when I felt I was going to go crazy, that I was going to go mad, that there's no point in living. What's the point? I'm tarnished anyway. Oh, but thank God, I'm standing. I'm standing strong. So here I am.
That is.
I'm not
I
broken
have
anymore.
no.
I'm
I
whole. I'm
have
not broken anymore.
that is that is amazing. That is amazing, Eva. And you sent me something last week, and because we are talking about broken relationships and bringing up those issues that are so taboo in our communities, and it just goes to show how what we live during our childhood, adolescence, or early adulthood has such an impact in our adult life and shapes us mentally to go and reproduce the same that we have experienced, even if we do not want it, right? Everybody wants to be happy. But because what we have seen is abuse, what we have seen is neglect, what we have seen is abandon, somehow that's the only thing that our subconscious recognize as truth, right? And so long as we do not undo that, we're going to keep reliving that the same.
Yeah. But we have to break the cycle, because if you look at our generation, if you look at I can take my own family and I can go back into my own family, my matriarchal family, because I'm only close to my matriarchal family. And if I look at my matriarchal family, there is a cycle that's not broken. In my family, I'm an anomaly. I'm such an anomaly in my family. I'm the only one. There's only one other cousin that's been to university. She's in China now doing medicine. And to a large extent, her motivation comes from me. But I'm a child of a grandmother who has 9 children, and I'm an anomaly. My family has got a cycle in it. And it's going to take a lot of work to break that cycle, because mindset is everything. Not everybody has the same mindset. And it takes willpower, because as you know, Genevieve, sometimes you mentally think, okay, I want to do this, but psychologically, physically, you just can't get the urge to do it. It takes drive and push, tenacity and strength, and the right people around you, because that is so fundamental. Having the right people in your camp who are going to push you forward, who is going to pour into you. And I've been so blessed that along my path, I have some amazing coaches in my life. I've surrounded myself with some great people. I am not afraid, and I don't care who is listening. I am not afraid to exclude the wrong people from my circle, because I know what bad apples can do to my energy, my space, my environment. But I also am aware of what the breath of fresh air that people who are aligned with me can bring to me. And so it's been a journey, man. It's not been easy. I tell you, as we say in Jamaica, rain or fall, but dirty tough. It means that it's been hard. It's been hard. It takes courage. But I'm here.
And we are so glad you're here. We're so glad you're here. I want you to talk to us about last year, about your video that you sent to me, if you're
Which
willing
one is
to.
that? Which video was that? Oh my God, which one was that? Oh,
It
that one.
was, yes,
Yeah. You
about
mean,
your marriage.
yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
So I've never been put on the spot like this. But I'm gonna have to talk about it anyway because so I was married to my ex-husband. I mean, we're not yet divorced, and I loved him.
Mm-hmm.
I really, really loved him.
Mm-hmm.
He's African. I met him, and when I
Mm-hmm.
met him, um, it was like homecoming for me because I'm not one of the Caribbean people who don't identify as being African. I identify as being African. And when
Mm-hmm.
I met him, I felt like I'd found the other part of my soul, the other part of who I was. And, you know, we had our difficulties like every marriage has. You know, there's no relationship
Mm-hmm.
that's not without its challenges. And long story
Mm-hmm.
short was he left me.
Mm-hmm.
Um, he abandoned me and my children,
Mm-hmm.
and he walked out on me. We had a simple quarrel, and I found out that I was just his visa girl.
Right.
I was just a source to an end. I was just a
Mm-hmm.
currency, um,
Mm-hmm.
and it hurt. I think it still does today,
Mm-hmm.
because I invested a lot in the relationship. I invested a
Right.
lot in the marriage. And
Mm-hmm.
I remember when I was home and the police called me to say that I needed to turn up at the station, I couldn't understand any of it. It didn't make sense to me. And for 5 days, I stank in my house. I didn't wash. I didn't shower. I became a ghost of myself. My kids saw
Mm-hmm.
me in a, oh my God, I've never done this interview before. My kids saw me in a space in a way that no children should ever see their parents. And at the same time, my career had started taking off. I was in the Financial Times, I was in the Guardian. You know, people saw me, and a lot of times when I was on Facebook posting, I was healing myself. Can
Right.
anybody relate to that?
Yes.
Sometimes your post is healing yourself, and I had to push through
Yes.
that pain.
Mm.
I had to push through that pain because by now there was about 32,000 people that was following me and listening to me and looking to me to motivate them. And many mornings I would sit on my toilet doing nothing, doing nothing. I'm serious. I'm very open. I would tell you if I was doing anything. But the toilet is the place that I find solace. Um, and I would sit on my toilet and I would cry while I'm posting. Because I was missing
Right.
my husband. I couldn't comprehend what was going on. I couldn't understand. None of it made
Mm-hmm.
sense to me.
Mm-hmm.
And
Mm-hmm.
next thing I know, I ended up in court with him. He took me to
Mm-hmm.
court, and we still have a battle. We're still in court. But
Right.
I'm standing. I've pushed through the pain, and I went from anger. I went from anger to hurt, and from hurt to resolution to not quit. And I went from trying to understand it to say you're not going to win, and then I came to a place. I'm at a place now of contentment and peace, and I've forgiven him. You see, when you don't forgive people who hurt you, you're not doing them a disfavor, you're doing yourself a disfavor. So I had to come to the place where
Mm-hmm.
I recognized that by not forgiving him or being angry at him, I was hurting myself and my ability to be a mother to my
That's true.
children. And
That's
so
true.
whilst I don't communicate with him on a personal level because I want to protect myself, and you know the laws of this country and how the laws are messed up.
Mm-hmm.
So,
Mm-hmm.
but I've forgiven him because I had to set him
Mm-hmm.
free to go and be with who deserves him, and for me to be with who deserves me. And then I also had to
Yes.
come to the place where I acknowledge that the relationship that I was trying to foster with him was not the one that was ordained, because some people in your life is
Mm.
for some relationships are for a purpose. And when you try to
Yes.
force a relationship of purpose into a relationship that's not designed to be forever, it cannot work.
Mm,
And I
that's
had
true.
to come to the place of accepting the beautiful
Mm-hmm.
gift, the beautiful gift he gave me of my son.
Mm-hmm.
And when I came to that place of peace, was when I was able to let him free and let him go to do whatever he wanted to do, to love whoever he wanted to love, and thanked him for my son. And thanked him for
That
my
is
son.
amazing. That is amazing. That is a whole life lesson just, encapsulated in the story that you just told. But what's amazing to me is that although we haven't met yet, I've seen you, like, in the background. You had your pain and your healing journey you were going through. But what I was seeing of Ava Brown, it was, wow, Ava is speaking here, Ava is traveling to Spain.
Oh, that was, wait
Ava's
a minute.
writing a second
No,
book.
let's talk about Spain. Oh my God. Spain was, I don't cry in interviews, Genevieve. I don't ask anybody. I don't cry. But you're touching some point to me. Spain was cathartic. I don't know if you remember that picture of that lady hugging me and crying on my shoulders.
Yes,
And
I
while I
do.
was healing her, I was healing myself. And
Mm,
Spain was just an amazing journey because I saw so many women in Spain who had the pain I understood, who had
yes.
been on journeys that I understood. And
Mm-hmm.
Spain, I showed Spain video to my branding and PR manager, and she cried because
Wow.
she knows my story. And she says, what's amazing was that I was able to pour into those women, although I was going through my own stuff. And when you're in the public domain, as you know, you have to learn to serve the people who you are meant to serve.
That's true.
Because pain is gonna always be there. But pain is temporary. I want you to hear that,
Mm-hmm.
people. Pain is temporary. And if you can push through your pain to the point where the pain is no longer pain, but it becomes gain, then you're halfway there. So I have learned to push through so much pain. On a daily basis, I go through so many different stuff because, as you know, the higher you climb, the bigger the
Mm.
battles, right?
Yes,
It don't get
yes,
any
yes,
easier.
yes.
But thankfully, I'm at a place in my life now where I accept everything that comes my way as part of my
Mm-hmm.
journey. I have no
Mm-hmm.
regrets. I don't regret any part of my journey anymore. It takes a level of understanding what the universe has for you. It takes a level of
Yes.
understanding your purpose and understand
Mm-hmm.
that in order for me to be a messenger that is going to be relatable to people, for me to be a messenger that people can actually tap into and say, you know what, I understand it. I have had to walk the journey. I'll give you an example. If you are a nurse and you don't know how to give an injection, how are you going to teach a
Mm-hmm.
trained nurse how to do it?
That's true.
So I'm being prepared for my journey, and
Mm-hmm.
my resources that I need to do my mission on earth are being given to me through my pain, through my
That's true.
experiences, through my journey. And now I open my hands and I receive them because I understand that if he did not think I was capable, he wouldn't give it to me.
That's it. That's
It's
it.
such, I know that anything that comes my way, I can handle it these days. So I just accept it. I no longer I used to get flustered. Oh my God, oh my God. Now I said, okay, how do I deal with this? And that's what I do.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I have
Mm-hmm.
friends who say, Ava, how do you do it? I said, well,
I
I
just.
was learning as a child how to grow strong roots to survive. And, you know, my book, Bamboo and Fern, tells you I was gaining strong roots to survive. And thankfully, sometimes you don't realize the skills you are honing along the way. Sometimes you learn skills without even realizing. When I was selling the mangoes on the train as a 12-year-old child, I was learning tenacity. I was learning perseverance. I was learning how to talk to people. But I didn't know that. All I saw was getting food to survive. I just was hungry. That's all it was. Today, I look at myself and I think, oh my God, I was learning stuff that I needed later on in life. When I came to London as a teacher, after being held and raped at gunpoint, and I nearly had a mental breakdown. And I came to London, and the vicissitude of London, Genevieve, it nearly killed me because I was coming from a different kind of culture. First of all, the weather was I can't even use the word. It was crap. I lived in Jamaica. Come on. Sun kisses my face every day and wakes me up. And then I came to London. It was cold. But then there was I faced racism. I faced discrimination. I ended up in the Financial Times by default in a way because I was overlooked for a promotion. And I just understand that disappointments are appointments in itself. But when I came to London, I had a lot of challenges. I was fired from my job. I didn't have work half the time. I nearly lost my house. I have struggled, girlfriend. Wow. If you ask me to write a book on struggle, I could write a whole dissertation. Struggle. But struggles are temporary. The word temporary must be in your vocabulary tonight, everybody. Hashtag temporary.
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 I heard that your life can be either a warning for others or an example.
Yeah.
To others.
Yeah.
And that's how I see your journey, like to me personally, is an example of like how pressure, no matter how heavy the pressure is, right? We do have the strength to stand, and it may feel that we're being crushed, but we're actually being, how can I say that? Being cut, right?
Diamond.
And I love the analogy. Yes, that's it. That's it. The charcoal doesn't look anything strong, right? It doesn't look anything strong. And how I can't even imagine the process of like from charcoal to diamond, but that's what it is. That's what it is to me. Like today, you are just shining for everybody to see. You are an example for so many of us, not just in our community, but the planet and whoever is going to come across Ava Brown. And I'm so honored to have had the privilege to interview you tonight. And you have 2 books, right? You have Bamboo and Fern.
Yeah, I do have Bamboo and Fern. And I've got the Musing and Thoughts of Ava Brown. Can I just go back quickly to something you just said a while?
Yes.
Because I wanted to go back to that. That diamonds go under the most pressure to become that beautiful stone. I hope one day I have a husband who puts a diamond on my finger. It's waiting.
It's coming.
He is coming.
It's coming.
He is there. He is. I am in the meantime being prepared for him, and he's been prepared for me. And I'm waiting patiently because I deserve the best, and he deserves the best too. But diamonds go through immense pressure to become that beautiful stone. And I think nothing that's good is easy. I've come to learn that. And I'm just humbled. Like when I hear people say, oh, you're such an example, I'm just doing my thing. And I'm just humbled that if I can touch one life in my process, then my job is done. And I'm just humbled by that. I'm a mission. I'm a messenger, and I'm just doing, I'm on a mission as a messenger. And that's what I'm here to do. And I just love the fact that I'm able to do what I do, and the ripple is great. But I woke up this morning back to my books, and I saw that one of my book was in Colorado. I was like, oh my God, that's so crazy.
Hey, congratulations.
I know, yeah. Yeah, there's lots of news
Amazing.
about my book. So Bamboo and Fern, oh, my publicist is gonna kill me for this. Sandra, I hope you're not watching. Bamboo and Fern is being, if you haven't got my book yet, can somebody type it in the link? There's Bamboo and Fern by Ava Brown. It's gonna be changing soon. So it's a limited edition, so you're probably going to get that. It's on Amazon, it's on my website as well. That's limited edition. That's changing soon. The name is changing. The cover is changing. Because,
Oh, wow. Okay.
Because there's a movie in the making.
No way.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, wow. No way. Congratulations. Oh, my God.
So this year I'm behind the scenes a lot because I've got so much going on behind the scenes. But if there's anybody out there who wants to come, anybody wants to become a sponsor in the program, in the project, please by all means come on. Yeah, the script's been written, the script's been commissioned, and I can't tell you what's going to be called yet, but the name has changed from. I was so oh my God, no, I don't want to change the name.
Wow.
But the name of the book has changed. So if you want to grab Bamboo and Fern. It's a limited edition. I mean, I think by spring it's no longer Bamboo and Fern, so we got about a couple weeks left to get that. So yeah,
that is absolutely amazing.
I've got so much news to share in the next couple of weeks. It's crazy. Like, just so much has happened, and that's the thing about when you sow and you work hard, the harvest has to come. So yeah.
Yes, always. That is so exciting. So. You're an actress as well. Are you going to play in the movie?
I've done 2 movies. You know that, right? Yes. I've done 2 movies last year. So do you know what? I hope nobody's listening. So I acted with.
What do you mean nobody's listening?
I hope nobody's listening. So hold up. So I got to act with some hot things. Oh my God, some of Nollywood. Oh, he was so fine. Oh, the guy was nice. I acted with. Anyway, so I acted with Rita Dominic. I did. She's like one of Nollywood. I've got pictures of me and her. It's on my Instagram, and I acted with some people from EastEnders and some people from Holby City. Yes, I did. I was like, oh my God, can you imagine me? You know, little mango girl from Jamaica. Okay.
Like, yes.
So yeah, and so our movie is going to Cannes, which is where you're from, right? It's going to Cannes in June. I know.
No way. And I've got the exclusivity. Exclusive.
So, nobody heard that, right? That was a whisper. I didn't even. My producer. I did not say that. I didn't say that. So yes, I've done. Fantastic. But can I tell you what, Jenny? Can I show you something that you probably haven't seen? My ex-husband's Nigerian. My first acting was in Nigerian movies. So he came for a purpose, wasn't he? Because you see, sometimes purposes are there, not the ones you want, but God has. Yeah. So I've done 2 movies last year, and in my first movie, I acted as a barrister, which is what I wanted to be in real life. See, I talk a lot. And so I got the first. Come on, girl. I'm a speaker, okay? That's what I do on stage. I speak. Oh God! So yeah, I've got some movie offers this year. I haven't taken anything yet. Things have come my way. I've just finished writing a script for a Nollywood movie as well, and a book for a director. This year, I'm not sure I'm going to act in anybody's movie. Depends on what the conditions are. So, I'm not going to say no yet, but I've turned a few things down this year already because I want to focus a bit more on my projects as well. So this year is about my projects a lot more than anything else. If the right deal comes, don't get me wrong, you pay me the right amount of money, I might just say yes.
Of course.
Bring on, baby.
Of course. Oh, that
Yes,
is amazing. I know you have you do book coaching as well.
I do. Yes, I do.
Right? Yeah. Do
And
you
I've
still
got
have any spots
programs.
available?
I've got two
Yes.
spots available. I've got a book coaching program starting on the 18th of February. It is
Mm-hmm.
normally £597, but for your program, it's
Mm-hmm.
$497, and people can pay
Okay.
two payments. The truth of the matter is, I'm not just going to teach you what the book says. I'm going to teach you what I do and what works. So it's a book writing and
Mm-hmm.
strategy, because so often
Right.
people just get up and start writing, but that's not the right way to do
Mm-hmm.
it. And so, as you can see, last year I published 8 people, 8 books last year, 8 authors,
Yes.
as far as
Mm-hmm.
Maine in the US, as far as Florida. I've flown out to the US to have VIP book coaching sessions with my clients, and I went to Antigua as well to do that. So basically, I want to work with intimate groups of just 12 people. I don't want it to be seriously big, and it's starting on the 18th of February. So please get your slot if you want to come on board. It's info@avabrown.org, or you can follow
Let me
me on
type
Twitter
that
and
in.
info@avabrown.org. And the code has to be Genevieve. So that's the code to get your discount. So just put your name as the code there. And it's normally £597, but it's £100 off for anybody who comes from this program. So yes.
Perfect.
And I have to also announce that I'm in Manchester next week, Saturday, with Imani
Yes.
and Suzanne and Jerome. Now, Jerome, I've got to talk about as well. Jerome has met, I'm so honored to work with these people. Like Imani is on radio.
Mm-hmm.
She does a great health show. Suzanne's going to talk about how numbers impact on your life and who you are. Jerome is my mentee. But hear this. Jerome has met President Obama personally. Like if you go on
Wow.
his Facebook, he's got a picture of him and the president hugging. Like, hello, who does that? Like, hello, dude from Jamaica. But Jerome's,
I think you posted that. I saw that picture.
yeah, he's my mentee. I'm his coach. So if you want a good coach,
Wow.
come this way. But Jerome has
Hey.
also, I know, right? I tell you, divine alignment. Jerome has also just been honored by the Queen here in England. So you probably saw that picture as well. He is only
Wow.
25. He's 25 years old.
Wow.
From the ghettos of Jamaica. And we're doing his book now. And that boy from ghetto to glory, he's 25 years old. He's been to countries across the world I've never dreamt of being. He's been honored by people in places I would probably never meet in my life. But Jerome is all about advocating for young people to change from the ghetto lifestyle, the bad way, and channel your energy into positiveness. And I love him for that. So if you're in Manchester, you're in London, you want to come and get some amazing, people pouring into you about their journey, about your health, about your spirituality. You want to meet me, Suzanne, Jerome, Imani. Next week, Saturday, is the place to be in Manchester. And the tickets are on Eventbrite. I'm going to drop the link here.
Mm-hmm.
And Genevieve, I have to tell you, I'm sorry, but you're gonna have to allow me to tell you, I'm part of an amazing TV program that's coming out in February. I love February. It's my birthday, and it's called Overcomers.
Mm-hmm.
Just Overcomers, and
Yes.
it's 4 of us girls who are serious overcomers. We've gone through some stuff, girlfriend.
Uh-huh.
And I can talk now because the advert is going on Facebook tonight. So I was just here looking at my phone because my publicist gave me permission that I could say it.
Don't get yourself in too much trouble.
Girl, I don't control my life anymore. Like I have to run everything by somebody. I'm thinking, what the hell? When I make my own decisions anymore? But yeah, it's all good. Yeah,
good. But it's such a great place to be, though. It's such a great place to be.
Yeah, it is. It is
fantastic.
Oh,
fantastic. We're wrapping up.
It's on YouTube. I can put the link here.
Yes, please. Yes, please. Yes, please.
Awesome! It's on YouTube. I'm gonna find it. Isn't this amazing? Okay, I'll find it now.
Yes,
So,
please.
oh, you guys are gonna have a laugh. Oh my God, it's on YouTube already. Like seriously?
I want to see.
Oh,
Please pop the link in.
I will. And if I don't do it, oh my goodness, it's on YouTube. It says coming soon. Oh, you might find it faster than me. If you go to YouTube and type in Overcomers. Oh my goodness, this is so awesome. They've taken it down. I don't know why. They've hidden it now. But anyway, I'll send it to you. You can add it to the
You
blog.
see?
They've hidden it. I don't know why they've hidden it. It's been
They made
hidden.
it private, maybe. They heard
Yeah,
you.
don't worry. It's coming.
They heard you wanted to share the link.
Oh,
We'll
it's gonna come.
anyway.
It's gonna come.
We'll see.
Yeah.
We'll see it.
Thank
you so much. I'm so looking forward. Anyway, I'll be spying on you anyway. So I'm going to see everything that you. Yes, I know. Too. Yes, definitely. Yeah.
Please do.
Definitely. Yeah, definitely. Congratulations to your daughter.
Oh, you can't see that. Can you see? That's it. That's the TV. Do you see? That's the TV. I'll send it to you. It's out. Awesome. Okay, never mind. Leave me alone. I'm just excited right now. Oh, look at us. Do you not just love when you overcome something and you can see the product of it?
Yes. I know the feeling.
Good. Well, thank you for having me. Thank you, Addison.
So much.
Thank you, Suzanne. Thank you, Imani. Thank you, Christy. Thank you, Doctor.
Yes.
Don't know who that is. Thank you, everybody. Genevieve, thank you for having me. It's been my pleasure. I love being here. And I look forward to coffee. Coffee.
Yes, definitely. Yes. Around here somewhere.
I love Wimbledon. Clapham, Wimbledon. It doesn't matter. We can go somewhere and have some coffee. We can go to Banstead. Doesn't matter.
Definitely. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. I will see you on the other side. Everybody, it's Ava Brown, www.avabrown.org. The manga girl from Jamaica. Take care.
Amen.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Thanks for tuning in, everybody.
Awesome.